Hello everyone. We meet again. This is actually additional lecture video. Okay, video for all of you who encounter the problems when we're supposed to have our synchronous learning during our supposed to be sessions of business studies for the grade 10, right? So we're supposed to discuss about the externalities. Okay, we have learned about the environmental issues previously, right? And now we're going to go with the subtopic of externalities. So before we proceed to that one, I would like to inform everyone that the materials is supposed to be uh, on your textbook from page 317 until 319 or 319, okay, which are going to be about the externalities and also external cost and external benefits of business decisions as well as the sustainable development. Now, everyone, let's talk about this one first, externalities, okay. In order to make it easy for you, in order to make it easy to understand, to comprehend, I would like to say that externalities are just another word, okay, in order to inform about the impact of a business, right? So, for example, let's take an example about a business in Bogor area here. So, if I'm not mistaken, there is this kind of a new mall in Tajur area, Boxes Mall or something like that, right? So, if you are analyzing that kind of business, if you're analyzing that boxes more, okay, there has been, let's say, about the positive impact to the environment, and also there has been also the negative impact to the environments, right? So when we refer to what we call the positive impact to the environment, to the people surrounding the area, it means we're talking about the positive externalities. Well, we're talking about the negative impact of the business to the people surrounding the area, or let's say to the environment, again, surrounding the area. It means we're talking about the negative externalities. Okay, so in order to ease your comprehensions about this term, externalities are just similar to what we call the impact. Okay, so we classify them into the positive externalities to refer to what we call the positive impact of the business to the environment or the people surrounding the area. And another classifications is what we call the negative externalities, or what we call the negative impact of the business to the environment or to the people surrounding the area. If we refer to the terms provided in our textbook, externality is actually the effect of business activities on unrelated parties. Okay, so it is not actually uh, the parties related to the business, okay, but things actually surrounding the area. While, okay, if we're talking about the positive externalities, it's actually the things which contribute to the social benefits of a project, while negative externalities make up the social cost of a project. Here, there are two new terms, okay, that we need to differ. Okay, the first one is actually the social cost, okay, the social cost, which is caused by the negative externalities, and the social benefit, which is caused by the positive externalities. Now, if we're talking about social cost, okay, based on the definition given in the textbook, social cost is actually the negative impact of a business decisions on society. Okay, so it's mostly the negative impact. Okay, sorry. And another thing is actually about social benefit. If we're talking about social benefit here, the definition is actually the positive impact of a business decisions on society. Let's get back to our previous case, okay, Boxy Small. Well, if only this one is actually the synchronous learning, and we can actually have this kind of discussions, face-to-face discussions or direct discussions. I would like everyone to mention about several impacts that have been caused by the existence of the Boxy Small in Tajul. So, for example, let's take one impact. If it's not if, okay, let's say that the Tajur Mall has been existing around, about 1 or 2 months, okay. What about the traffic surrounding area? Is it going to be more crowded, or is it just going to be, a little bit slower than the previous one? I guess it's going to be more crowded, right? Is that a good one, or is that a bad one for the people surrounding area? Well, at least for one of my colleagues, okay, she actually complained at that time, oh God, there has to be more crowded traffic here because of this mall is built here. So I assume that most of people are actually having the same thought. Okay, so I would classify that kind of impact as the negative impact of the business. Okay. Now another thing. Okay, let's just think about the job opportunities. If let's say that Boxes Mall is open there. Okay, does that mean that people surrounding area will get more job opportunities for them? If yes, okay, do you think that is going to be a good one, or do you think it's going to be the bad impact? I personally thought that is going to be a good one, okay, because people surrounding area they need jobs, okay, and because the mall has been there, it means that more job opportunities are coming to them, okay, and that's going to be a very good impact for them, right? And this good impact is called the social benefit because of this business, okay, there has been something for there has been what we call benefit for the people surrounding area, right? Well, the other one, okay, what we call the traffic, the more crowded traffic is going to be the negative one, and this is what we call the social cost, okay, because people need to take longer time just to get through that area because there has been a lot of traffic there. Okay, that's the situation. Now, if we're talking about the externalities, those are actually the two most important things that you need to know. Okay, social benefit and social cost. Social benefit is caused by the positive impact of the business to the environment or to the people surrounding the area. While on the other hand, okay, social cost is actually the bad or the negative impact caused by the business, okay, to the environment or the people surrounding the area, right? Now, if we're talking about this kind of externalities, okay, we also need to know about the external cost and external benefits caused by business decisions. If you're referring to your book page 318, okay, there is this kind of materials about cost benefit analysis. It's actually an analysis of the costs and benefits of a project, the focus being on the social costs and benefit. This is actually an analysis, okay, conducted by people who are actually going to build a business, okay, and they need to know about the social costs and also about the social benefit that the business will cost if they are building the business in that particular area, right? For example, the government of Bogor City, for example, they're planning to open an airport, okay, in Chiomas area, for example. They need to conduct what we call this kind of cost or benefits analysis. Okay, if they're building, let's say, an airport over there, okay, what will be the bad impact there? What will be the good impact to the societies there? Okay, it will provide more opportunities, but let's think about the others. Okay, let's think also about the other impacts. So, for example, if it is an airport, it's going to be very noisy. Okay, there will be kinds of noise pollutions because every single day there are lots of traffics of aircrafts coming in and coming out of the airport, and that's not going to be a very friendly environment. It's not going to be a quiet environment. Okay, it's not going to be good for people who are seeking for, how do we say that one, the calm situations to rest, right? And I believe for some people who have been there quite a long time, it's going to be it's going to be kinds of issue. There will be some kind of how do we say that one, reluctant people who are going to reject or who are going to refuse to make their area to be an airport, right? So that's actually the things that need to be analyzed by the government. If the government is conducting this kind of analysis, okay, which one is giving more? Okay, is it going to give more social benefit or is it going to give more social impact? It means that the government is conducting what we call the cost benefit analysis, right, everyone? Now, this is actually this kind of analysis. Well, we cannot say that this is actually compulsory, but this one is actually strongly encouraged because whenever we're conducting this analysis, it means we are actually considering all aspects related to the people, related to the environment, near the business. right? Now, that's actually everyone if we're talking about the external costs and external benefits, okay? Another thing, okay, when we're talking about the business, besides we're talking about the environmental issues, besides we're talking about the ethical issues, okay, which we're going to learn in the next subunit, okay, we're also going to talk about the sustainable development, okay. So if we refer to the term sustainable development, it is actually a business activity is said to be sustainable if it has a positive overall impact on the environment and its stakeholders, okay, ensuring its survival in the future. So sustainable means, yeah, continue to live. Okay, so if a business is giving more positive impact to the environment because of its existence, it means that the business is actually sustainable. Well, that's actually the general formula for this one. But excuse me, everyone. But here on your textbooks as well, if you refer to page 319, you can say that the business can be classified as a sustainable business if they are actually fulfilling some of these classifications or some of this requirement. The first one is actually use renewable sources of energy. If you are having a business and then your business is actually exploiting only the natural resources without having to use the renewable resources of energy, it means that your business is not going to be sustainable. Why? Because your business is actually disrupting the nature. But if your business is actually using the renewable resources, renewable sources of energy, for example, you're using water in order to ignite all of your electricity needs, okay, it means your business are going to be sustainable. That's only one criteria. There's sorry, one criterion of a sustainable business, or one characteristic of sustainable business. Another criteria or another characteristic is actually the business is avoiding unnecessary travel by promoting a work from home policy or telecommuting. Okay, so for example, let's say that you're having a business, but then your business is actually causing you to have this kind of frequent traveling, okay, to many parts of the world. I know this is actually kinds of your promotional activities, or let's say marketing activities. But if all of those activities can be conducted online, that shall be good. Well, we know that right now we have the features of teleconference. For example, if you would like to have this kind of business meeting with your business associates, you don't need to go to New York to meet them. All you need to do is just Skyping them, or Zooming them, or Google Meeting them. Okay, there has been a lot of situations. There has been a lot of technology which is, okay, your needs of doing business activities, right? Another thing, a business is said to be sustainable when they are when it is avoiding or reducing the use of chemicals that produce toxic waste. I know for some reason the chemical related business is not going to be directly included into this kind of characteristic. But if, let's say, they are reducing their toxical waste, okay, if they are actually managing their waste so that the waste is not going to be toxic, really that toxic to the environment, well, that's a good way of a business to be sustainable, right? Another thing, okay, when the business is using packaging that is made of recycled material. So I remember this case when the very first time that Xiaomi Redmi 1S, okay, was produced at that time. I forgot what year was that, but if I'm not mistaken, that was the very first product that I saw at that time. The packaging was using the full recycled material. It's not that the package can be recycled, but the packaging is actually made, okay, from the recycled material. So it's like that you're having this kind of recycled material, and then you produce your packaging using these materials. That's actually good. And I remember that one when I first bought my Xiaomi Redmi 1S. At that time, the packaging was just so nice. I mean, it's not like the common packaging at that time where everything is wrapped in plastic, and then how do we say that one? The box is so what is that? Glossy with the material, a very high end materials or something like that, or even plastic. Okay, but at that time, Xiaomi, okay, with its product Redmi 1S at that time, all of the materials were using recycle. Okay, so I appreciated that one at the time. Another thing, a business is actually classified or characterized as the sustainable business when it uses energy efficient processes and equipment to minimize the use of energy. So, for example, your business is actually conducting what we call the research and development about the technology, so that your business is not using lots and lots of machineries, okay, which are actually using more fuel during the operational activities. Then your company is supposed to be classified as a company who is going to be sustainable in the future. Another thing, okay, a company is characterized as a sustainable company when that business reduces waste or find a market where it can be used as a raw material. So this is also related to the previous one, okay, when we talk about the recycle one. So when a business is actually managing its waste, okay, so that it's not going to be toxic to the environment, or if the waste can be actually used for other raw material for other products, okay, that business is going to be sustainable. That business is going to be living longer, yeah, because they're providing more good impacts to the environment. And the last one, again, the last one, that a business is supposed to be classified as the sustainable business when the business works with employees, customers, and suppliers failing. Sorry, we're going to discuss more about this subtopic. Okay, in the next meeting of ours. Okay, when we're talking about the how do we say the recruitment, about the agreement of the employee, that kind of thing. Okay, so if a business is treating the employee fairly, okay, so the reputation is just going to go up, and that's going to be a very good precedence for the business, right? I mean, you're not going to live longer in this world if you don't give benefit to people. Well, at least in my point of view, right? I mean, you're going to live longer. People will much more appreciate you if you give more to the society. If your company is treating the employee fairly, okay, the only word that will come out from the employee is actually only the good words. It's not going to be the bad words. And if it's the good words, okay, your company are just going to be popular. I mean, popular in a good way, because people know your business as a very fair business, treating the employees nice. Or let's say that you're providing a very nice features or facilities for your employees, so that your employees are just so nice, so comfortable working in your company. That's also a good one. If I'm not mistaken, in our previous meetings, okay, our offline meetings, okay, I've informed you about how the situations in the Facebook office or in the Google's office. Okay, so people working in those companies are just feeling comfortable, because it's not like that they're working in 9 to 5 routines. Okay, I go to my cubicles, I work on my desk, and then I leave at 5. Okay, that's it. No. Okay, so whenever you're giving this kind of facilities in order to let's say amuse your employees, in order to please your employees, so they're not getting stressed out because of all of those works burden things, okay, means you're treating your employees very nice, and that's going to be a good sign, and your company is supposed to be classified as the sustainable one, right? Okay, so everyone, that's actually the things that we're discussing today. I believe that everyone can actually refer to the materials that I've already informed you earlier. So for today's discussions about the externalities, our materials is actually from page 317 until 319. It's okay. So everyone, next one, let's wrap this up. Okay. So the first one, speaking about the externalities. Externalities are impacts of the business to the environment or the people surrounding the area. Externalities can be classified into two. Positive externalities, meaning the positive impact caused by the business, okay, which is often called causing what we call the social benefit. Another one is actually what we call the negative externalities, or the negative impact caused by the business. Or in other words, we can say that the business is causing social cost to the environment or to the people surrounding area, right? Okay, the next one, after we talk about the externalities, we talk about the external costs and external benefits of business decisions. Okay, this, okay, taking form in the cost benefit analysis needs to be conducted by business. Okay, if it's going to open the business, okay, in a particular area, right? And this business is huge, and this business is just going to give more profit, but we still need to think about what happened afterwards. Okay? What happened if the business is actually built there? Okay, this kind of analysis needs to be conducted by businesses so that, okay, in the future the business is going to be sustainable. Okay, our next topic. Okay, now the business here need to conduct this kind of cost benefit analysis in order to be sustainable, in order to be fully accepted by the people surrounding area, in order to be fully accepted by the environment there, okay, in order to be sustainable. When we're talking about the sustainable development, the sustainable business is actually a situations where business is actually giving more positive overall impact on the environment and to its stakeholder. There are several characteristics of a business to be classified as the sustainable business, and we have just talked about that one. So everyone, as a closure, I would like everyone later on, okay, to how do we say that one? To test yourself, okay, with the activity, to test your comprehensions about the material with the activity 25.2 on page 318. Okay, so please do that activity 25.2. The deadline is actually 1 week from now. Well, not really 1 week, but actually 1 day before our next synchronous meeting. Okay, so everyone, I really hope that everyone can actually comprehend these materials or this video very well. Should there be anything that you would like to ask, you can actually contact me directly via Google Classroom. Okay, and I'm absolutely more than welcome. Okay, to all of the questions that you're asking me, or you can actually reach me through my line ID. Okay, so everyone, thank you very much for your attention. Remember, activity 25.2 on page 318. Okay, that's going to be your next class. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll see you again in the next meeting. Ciao.